Our entire personality comes from our beliefs, mostly all stemming from how we were brought up, how we were programmed to be. And most of us, if not all of us, are really unconscious to how deep this programming goes. But if we can get to the root of some of these beliefs, we can get to the things that are holding us back from success. Yo, it's your friendly neighborhood knucklehead, and in this video, I'm gonna break down the 3 biggest limiting beliefs that I think are holding artists and creative people back from success. A lot of this stuff, I'm still working on how I can dismantle these things in my own life and my own belief system. But jumping right in, number 1, I'm gonna say this idea that we need to struggle and suffer and work hard in order to make something happen. We're not worthy of success, or we don't deserve good things happening unless we put ourselves through the gauntlet and white knuckle through intense trials and tribulations. Now, maybe that sounds a little extreme, but honestly, underneath a lot of the stuff that we do, it's in order to make us feel worthy for good things to happen for us. But a lot of us think we need to suffer first. We need to build character in order for that worthiness to happen. And eventually, that's also teaching us that suffering is a good thing. Suffering is actually good for us. Suffering means that good things are gonna happen. But the reality is, we're probably just training ourselves to be in a perpetual state of suffering. Number 2, and really similarly, is this idea that we won't get things for nothing. Thinking that we're not lucky. We won't get things for nothing. We have to go there and prove ourselves. This is again digging into our sense of worthiness. What if I told you you are worthy of getting things for free? What if I told you you are worthy of success for just being who you are? I would sound crazy, right? I would sound crazy if I wasn't telling you that luck isn't a thing. You need to work on something every day in order to make things happen. These kinds of things are giving us this false sense of control that we have in our lives. And that's kind of the payoff we get with these limiting beliefs, is thinking that we have control over these outcomes. If things don't work out, then we can just say, well, we must not have worked hard enough. We must not have earned it. We must not have been worthy for success. But really, what if the universe is just telling us we're not ready for the level of success that we want yet? What if something better is coming our way? What if the universe has a better plan for us? Reframing that negative outcome mindset into a positive mindset is going to be instrumental in letting success, abundance, and worthiness come our way. All right, number 3 and lastly is the belief that simple things have less value. We've all heard the phrase, the best things in life are free. Well, might be a bit of a generalization, but just because simple things might have less monetary value or something like that, it doesn't mean that they have less importance in our life. And honestly, here's another bonus belief, is this idea of importance. What is important to us and why it's important. The beliefs that we have rooted in things that we find incredibly important to us are going to be really telling on how we feel about external stuff and also how we feel internally. We often trick ourselves into thinking that things are so much more complicated than they need to be. But the reality is, if we can keep things simple, maybe simple things would be best for us. We have this idea of making things much more complicated than they need to be. What if we can just keep it simple? What if we can just wake up and decide that thing we want to do, I want to be somebody that directs movies. Keeping it that simple. Instead of thinking about, oh, I need to go to film school and I need this camera and I need to do that, I need to do this. You know what all of famous directors say if you want to start making films? Just start. pick up your phone, have an idea, make ideas. Just start, just be a film director, make films. If we can keep things simple to that level, if you want to be a songwriter, write a song. Just start doing it, and every time we do it, you get better. That's the whole thing with me doing YouTube right now. I never thought of myself as somebody that would go out into the park and record myself talking about the things that I'm learning, but here I am, and I'm constantly trying to get better and better at it by doing it. So these 3 beliefs, that we need to suffer, that suffering is good for us, that we're not lucky and things won't just come easily to us, and lastly, thinking that things need to be complicated or that things in life are not simple. These are 3 beliefs that will hold us back from manifesting the things that we want to manifest. I think number 1 is the biggest one, but what's your limited belief? Let me know in a comment below. The big thing I want you to take away from this video is that we need to be aware of these things before we can start dismantling, before we can start working on them. And sometimes it's not easy to be aware of things in the moment. When we're in that grind of like working, and we're getting that adrenaline from overworking ourselves, that's a moment where we can think, maybe we don't need to be working this hard. Maybe the reason that we're telling ourselves to keep going and keep going is because of this limited belief that if we chill out for a little bit, our success won't come. So if you dig this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like the one I'm gonna put up here, which is the last video I did on belief structures. Also, I'm gonna put a link in the comments to the last blog that I just put out. It's like a 5-minute read, and it's all about going in depth on these beliefs and how they impact us as artists, how they impact our value, how we feel about ourselves, and also how they can get in the way of us becoming successful. Thanks so much for watching, and stay creative.